extending that, works normal, remove that, go again, only extends thusly. So those are the two control points to make this stop at multiple floors, as desired. Still need a computer. I'm back! Alright people, so we are back. There's been some progress, but we're going to get on that in a minute. First, I'd like to just apologize for disappearing for 2 weeks without warning. I was quite unwell. I'm going to grab these while I'm just talking. For anybody who really knows, I don't get a whole lot of sleep, and it's related to that. A bit of a disorder. I wasn't doing so good. Let's put it that way. I'm kind of okay now, but lost about 48 hours a week. Yeah, you don't want to know. My recording time suffered, and I'm just getting back. So, you know, it's not big. We'll be fine. So, updates. As you can see, while I was brain dead and not particularly functional, I've placed... I did the math to figure out exactly how much I had to do up here, and it came out to like 29,000 blocks that I'd placed from about this point here all the way up. Not even... I haven't done the top row yet, but that's coming. I've got blocks. Okay, good. We are a go. Noisy elevator. As you can see, that's still glitching out slightly. You sometimes fall into the pistons. This is just because it's using SMP code now. There's not a damn thing I can do about it. All you can do is hold down the jump key and then bug into the top ones. This is looking really good, isn't it? Considering I've been working on a new elevator design. Freedom! Yes! Okay, so, what was I? Yeah, a new elevator design. I'm gonna need dirt blocks. How depressing. Yeah, but the new elevator to stop multi-floors so we can go all across here. And what we're gonna do today... I haven't really... I don't want to fill in down here. I want to remove this construction part eventually, actually. Maybe have a bit of a walkway going around, but not have an actual floor there. And then here would be fine, except for that part. That I can probably live with. I can probably live with that. Oh well, doesn't matter. So, updates. Yep, aside from filling in the walls here, which took almost 30,000 block placements, which essentially worked out to almost 120,000 cobble, which you make that, you bake it, which all I was doing was cobble farming and farming trees to make charcoal, renewable sources. So I'm out of coal and pretty much out of stone again. That's fine. I'll fix it. But 120,000. And when I worked that out, that just blew my mind a little bit. Like I kind of knew it was a lot, but not that much. Luckily, I was delirious for most of the week, so I didn't notice. That's okay. The other thing of note. Hey look, the mob spawn has changed. Yes, it has. We can go in there, we can't get out the bottom. Well, that's foresight for you. We're going to jump off here. This is the floor I'm going to fill in. And it's going to be horrendously lit, and loads of mobs are going to spawn up here, and we're going to die horribly. Yeah. No, we're going up the top. We're going to do something up here. I think... finish off the wall, figure out where the wall is terminating, because obviously that goes like that. And yeah, so aside from the mob spawner, which let's take a quick peek inside. It's very hard to see most of the stuff in here though. Oh, that was a mistake. So spawning pads up here, trapdoors to trick them down. We're not going to have an XP mode on this simply because there's some kind of problem with the vines. They keep getting caught up on them, and hell, spiders they can't drop through here because the trapdoors they take up part of a block, so the spiders are too big to fall through. I need to work with this a little bit more, but for now, you know, it's a very efficient design. It's wired up the same way as when I was just figuring it out in that one episode, and whilst you can do it with repeaters and then have adjustable timing, the torches are going to be better because you can then on the outside plug power into it essentially, because if it jams up and if the pistons get stuck out, you can invert the signal to the pistons and retract them as a kind of quick reset, so like a system purge basically in the event it gets jammed, and that's going to be very useful. So I need to fill in the roof too. That's not going to be fun. I really should have brought dirt blocks. Doesn't matter. We'll live. So, it's probably more than overdue for a channel update here. And what's going on? Where are we going? Well, yeah. Let's talk Minecraft first. Plans from this point, I think next episode, just because I'm gonna run out of food if I'm not careful. Been, you know, still running on pork chops, which I kill with the bow. That's okay. Using a lot of bread, making with the wheat, but honestly, I want some steak in my diet, so I'm thinking of, and it'll work for pigs too, but a farm design that, yeah, I'm gonna need to give it some thought, but I'm thinking minecarts, purge system, automatic cow acquisition system, so you know when you log out and back in how the cows pop out of the minecarts. I'm thinking of a system to essentially acquire them, and then the purge would be, you know, when you've got a certain amount of cows, an automatic system to, I don't know, wash them to a central collection point, drop them through lava, whatever does it for you. Why am I... Yeah, nah, it's fine. I'm gonna go with that. We'll just floor around it as time goes. Yes, English, good. I think that's okay, actually. We can have a control station up here or something, maybe. I don't know. We're gonna have something up here. And it will start mob spawning if you're too close to the spawner, but that's okay. I think if I'm gonna want to be using it, we're gonna want to be underneath. Now my mouse feels slightly weird. Maybe it's just my hand. Maybe it's just weird lag. Maybe it's both. Maybe I've got hand lag. Who can say? So inside this tower, I've probably got more room than I will ever need for actual contraptions. I'm getting a weird bit of lag here. I know. I'm gonna pause recording for just a moment and check this out. So be right back. Okay, I literally have no idea what was causing that, so hopefully it doesn't bother us too much. He says as it happens again. Yeah, because there's absolutely nothing running. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, I gotta tell you. Okay, so as I was saying, there's going to be more space in this tower than I'll need for actual stuff, which means we can have a couple of fun rooms. And I'm thinking stuff like an MC Escher room, because I love relativity. It's just that word that escapes me. Sounding intelligent right now, yeah. It's a great and very recognizable painting, and I like it. It's a cool concept. And with the upside down stairs and such, oh, that made me freak out. You can get half of it. I'd like it better if we could have sideways stairs and, but we should be able to do something semi-cool that way. Maybe. Another idea I had was kind of like a maze room, but not an actual maze. Have it set up on pistons so that it's a changing maze. Some kind of random generation system, possibly using pigs, because, that's random. Pigs and pressure plates. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that was on test world. I was like, I'm too close. Hang on a minute, actually, it's also very quiet up here. Yep, peaceful. I wish there was a way that you could just set difficulty modes for specific worlds, without it being on hardcore, obviously. There, you can hear the mob spawner cone. The rates are very good. The spiders cause problems, but can't have it all. Gonna knock those out. Oh, power shovel. There is nothing sweeter in this world than one of these shovels, because you're just super powered. Yeah. Where were we? Yep. So some kind of random system, and I did want to build something absurdly complex using like a computer state, one of the binary processing units, a bunch of, maybe not gold blocks unless I'm feeling very extravagant in the actual thing, but that kind of thing, just have something really complex that doesn't necessarily achieve anything, but just looks suitably cool. Yeah, so it's really dark down there. I'm gonna need to probably hook in the lighting systems at some point, or just figure out the lighting. A big part of this is gonna be just about getting the floors laid out, and of course it's gonna get super dark down there once all this is in. But it's kind of necessary to get a real preview of what's going on. All I can say is it's really great they fixed that thing where clouds would pass through walls. I'm pretty sure that was in the 1.8 patch notes too. Beta 1.8. Good to know they fixed it, huh? If anybody knows why that's still happening, please let me know. So in terms of channel in general, other stuff, yeah, I'm repeatedly looking looking around, because I got a whiteboard to my left where I got stuff written on. Because I've been building a new desk. It's amazing. It's custom built for just doing stuff. It lacks on movement space, but, I've essentially just built myself a cubicle. It's cool. Shut yourself off from the outside world so you can concentrate on what's going on. So that should be alright. Can't soundproof it, but, So, I've been thinking about release scheduling. Like, a new way of doing it, and there's a couple of things that have gone into play with this decision. The first is that I'd like to put out more content, maybe 2 uploads a day if I can, or just a greater range of stuff. The other one, and this is distressing, it feels like Secret World has kind of died a bit of a death. I'm gonna tentatively say that Guild Wars 2 has a lot to do with that, because that's just been released and suddenly everybody's kind of vanished a bit. It's almost like a lot of them were playing Secret World as a kind of interim thing, and they've all gone over to that. I'm not. I was not that taken by the original Guild Wars, you know. Call me a heretic or whatever, but I don't know. For me, it was just a lot of people raving about how great it was going to be, but only because it didn't have a monthly fee, which all MMOs did at the time, and they were mostly just cheap asses and children anyway, so the kind of people that I didn't want to hang with that much. A couple of them were friends, granted, and I wish they'd come to WoW, which was still vanilla at the time, so it was great, in my opinion. I have to add that part because some people apparently liked expansions. But yeah, I mean, I wish they would have come over to that because they would have been great additions, but for the most part, it was just, I don't know, a certain kind of person that was playing the game, and I wasn't in on that hype. I didn't mind paying a monthly fee if the game was good, which I know Guild Wars got a lot of attention, a lot of people think it's really great. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm just not playing Guild Wars or Guild Wars 2 right now. That's fine. Maybe I'll give it a go if people really want to look. But we're talking Secret World right now. I think they made a bit of a mistake with the fact that the raid content isn't out yet, and it's not going to be out until a couple of weeks after the release of Guild Wars 2. And yeah, I'm putting it all on Guild Wars 2 because despite the fact that Blizzymon's Pandaclysm patch has come out, or like the pre-patch, I don't know. I'm not even paying attention to that game anymore. It's just turned into a travesty. I honestly don't know anybody over the age of 12 who is excited about that. So I don't think we've lost anybody who wasn't still hanging around Kingsmouth asking for help with an investigation mission where you just had to Google Vivaldi. So, yeah, the raid content for Secret World isn't out yet. What I would have done would be to release it slightly before Guild Wars 2, within the week before, and the reason is that would be a strategic, targeted incentive to stick with Secret World, which for quite a few people who've been farming out the nightmares for a while now has started to feel somewhat stale. We've only kept it alive by messing about and doing funny stuff and, you know, just generally having a good time. But I know Cabal Chat is certainly feeling very deserted right now, which is a shame because we had a great bunch of people getting together there. I'm hoping it doesn't die off completely so soon because given how good that game is, it would be a real shame and a real loss to just variety, like gaming variety in general, particularly in the MMO world, which really was in sore, desperate need of an injection of something that wasn't just trying to be World of Warcraft. Because whilst WoW ripped off a lot of elements of other games, it did. Honestly, if you look at it subjectively, it's derivative. Everything's derivative to some degree. But WoW was the one that really got the mix very good, became very popular, and most people's answer to trying to compete with the game is to try to clone the game. That's never going to work. You cannot... it's like trying to get people off of drinking Coke by releasing a store brand, but it's priced the same. It may not even taste as good. I don't know. It just doesn't work. You cannot draw a crowd from a game by giving them more of the same, because why should they switch to your game? They're already established in this other one, and you're not really giving them anything different. You need to innovate to really pull people away from WoW. The game that kills it? Well, some of us are of the opinion that Blizzard killed it themselves, probably under the watchful harassment of Activision. But, you know, if you forget that, essentially the game that is going to kill off World of Warcraft needs to be an innovator. It needs to do something that is so exciting, so appealing, that the masses just ditch out because they cannot get that experience in any other game currently. or at least they can't get that experience in any game that they're currently playing. And marketing has a lot to do with it. I've gone off on a bit of a tangent here, but essentially, if you'd released the raid content just before Guild Wars 2, what that would have achieved would be to give something new for established players to be doing, add a bit of excitement, add a bit of intrigue, and that would have offset the amount of people who would switch a game to seek that experience out. You know, people looking for something new, if it's a bit stale, will go to another game that's just been released. And I've no doubt that those same people are going to switch to another MMO when that comes out. They're just kind of buffet players. But particularly at the start of a game, the success of a game is almost measured within the first year of its release when you're talking MMO. Like the amount of players that go to it, the amount of hype surrounding it, and the general level of community that is built within the game. It's all very important. I mean, picture the Leroy Jenkins video, which I remember from the first year of World of Warcraft. Actually, I remember me and mine who were just critiquing. It's like, well, you know, if they just got the mages, gathered them up, and then AoE'd them all down, they would have been fine. And obviously it wasn't the point. It was a setup, but you know, people remember that. That video has transcended the game, and people who don't even play games understand. They've heard of Leroy Jenkins, at least. And the point is, that's a community aspect. That is something that enriches the gaming experience outside of the game, and you know, it all contributes to the general feel that World of Warcraft had at the time. And of course, it holds the player base. Everybody hears how great this game is. They see the amount of fun that people are having. Oh, it's the day-night sensor, not the... Okay, I was being stupid. Well, he wants to see me fight a bunch of stuff. Getting my practice on. Because, in reference to Secret World, I'd like to keep playing it, but if it really is dying, I'm not going to go to Guild Wars 2 like everybody else. However, there is another game, another sequel to a past MMO that is coming out that I am very interested in, and that is PlanetSide 2. Which, yes, it's an FPS MMO. It's a bit more brainless than what I'm apparently interested in and accustomed to, but it's a very, very fun way to just sink your time. Picture, you know, the competition of Call of Duty, but less stale, actually. Because it's not the same maps, it's not the same tactics. It's one persistent world that is always fighting. And there's just a lot to do, a lot of different stuff to try, and it's a really, really great game. This is annoying. Out of stone bricks. Damn. It's a really great game to just... You can hop on it for 10 minutes or 10 hours and still achieve. You don't need to spend hours farming gear and all that other stuff. Because it is what it is. But it's great fun. And, you know, some of my greatest memories were... Apparently I was quite a respected mag rider pilot on the server I played on. Yes, I played Vanu. By the way, this is better than a minecart system. So much more fun. Great for target practice. That's an Enderman. Yeah, I'm going to shoot it anyway. And yeah, I mean, some of my best memories are, you know, cruising around, tank battles. Oh hell, there's a Reaver coming after us. And the people I was living with, you know, we were always playing in the same room. So my gunner was just behind me and strafing around Reaver shells, not getting hit, and then blowing the thing out of the sky. It just feels really good, and it looks like it's still got that same feel to it, but they've improved. It's less about... Give me your balls. Yep. I wish to receive this Enderman's balls. Got it. Yeah, one of the main improvements is to make more variety within the base structures and the terrain and the way that it's all put together. And what the result is, do I have any? Oh, not very much coal. And I think I got some cobble, but not much. Yeah, good. Let's just get 2 stacks of that. That'll finish us off. Yes, I'm going to be super pedantic about this. Get exactly 16 there. Don't mind me. So yeah, in the first game, it was pretty much just use a vehicle to get to a base and then get out and assault it on foot. You know, Oh. Wow, okay. Well, in that case, I guess we're gonna do that. Apparently I ran out of charcoal but left the bricks in, so that's alright. But now you can actually... Where am I going? That one. You can actually assault the base using tanks. It makes everything a lot more useful. So yeah, they've just seemed to have targeted improvements on things that, you know, could have been improved, but kept a lot of the feel the same. So I'm very interested in that. I think you're gonna see me playing that, assuming I have time, and I think I hopefully will have time. I prefer not to be playing 2 MMOs simultaneously, simply because of paying monthly fees, but I think Planetside is actually going to have a free-to-play model. It may even be free to acquire, I'm not completely sure. They may be the first MMO that's actually used a super intelligent business model. Because I've always said that if you had an MMO, free to download, free to play, but microtransactions, like a lot of stuff, so there's rules on microtransactions, there's ways that they should not be used. But, you know, and it's Sony that have control of it. I'm going to plant this one just because it's going to bug me. Which is funny, because Sony screw a lot of things up, but it looks like they're doing this well. Or the developer is. Whoever's really in charge. Yeah, just a complete brain drop there. Yeah, it looks like they're actually doing a proper microtransaction model, and the thing is, that is gonna result in probably more profit than they would have got by selling the game and charging a monthly fee, so long as the gameplay is good. And if it has half the following that the original game did, they'll be fine. The only thing that really finished it off was when World of Warcraft was released, and a lot of players went to that, and then they started really making a mess out of the core gameplay and various other attributes of it, because they were, you know, trying to claw back some people, but going about it all wrong. I mean, if you've got to go through a long and lengthy process in order to unlock some kind of ability or special thing, you don't start giving that away to all players to try and get them back. That's not how you incentivize it at all. I mean, what they would have done better is to make it a free-to-play game. You know, an upfront fee to get it, maybe, but then free-to-play, or, you know, reduce it. Just incentivize it in some way so that you still have all the challenge and the progression aspects, but you get some kind of bonus out of it. I'm actually going to pull these out because they're just going to... Crap! Oh, I've still got a silk touch pick. Aha! Did I switch that? Yeah, I switched that. Oh, silk touch. How I adore thee. Yeah, because I can go back up the ladder and finish these. We're almost out of time. I'm going to maybe run a little bit over, just for the sake of the fact that I haven't put out a video in 2 weeks, and I feel a little bad about that. I've got so much more that I wanted to talk about, actually. Well, maybe not that much. Yeah, upcoming at the end of this month, only a few weeks away now, about 4 weeks maybe. We're looking at a release for Rocksmith, which, you know, rhythm games are fun, but I've also played guitar for a long time. I got a condition in my wrists that kind of affects my ability to play, but Rocksmith still very much appeals, and people have said, you know, that sounds like a fun game. I think you should get that and play that. So that I will. So you can probably look for that. I think I've heard word that it was either the PC version or the Xbox version had a slight bit of input lag, which would really bug me. So I'm gonna research that again, check which way around it is, and then buy the other one. And if it's the Xbox version, I'm gonna have to get some stuff to record off of Xbox, but that's okay. I know what I'm looking at to do that already, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And the other thing is Dishonored, which is coming out on October 12th, and I am super pumped for that, because it's got members of the original Deus Ex team, the original Half-Life team, not Half-Life 2, where it started to bug me, and Thief, the Dark Project. And it's very stealth-oriented, very tactical, based on what I understand of it. Obviously haven't gotten to play it yet, but hopefully you can tell that I'm excited about it. And the thing is, that is exactly how I like to play. I'm very cloak and dagger. I mean, Deus Ex, the most recent one, for example, Human Revolution, I took particular pride in the fact that my first playthrough was on hard mode, and I got the achievements for never killing anybody, never setting off any cameras, like never being seen, and all that good stuff. Because to me, that's just a measure of being completely pro, you know? You can move through a base as a total ghost, and that just strikes me as, yeah, that's skills, as far as I'm concerned. So that's what really appeals to me, and that sounds like Dishonored is pretty much all that, so yeah, very excited about that. In terms of what's coming up video-wise, I'm going to try to light this up a bit. We're going to continue with Pokemon. I'm gonna see about continuing with Secret Worlds. We might be looking more at informational stuff. I know I haven't got the Nightmare videos up yet. There was issue with doing those to do with finding people who wouldn't clown up the video too much, and actually being able to perhaps it, and then, you know, getting people's permission to include them in the video, because, you know, that's polite. Not everybody wants to be a YouTube star. Checking light levels. Ooh, I can probably get away with that. So yeah, there's a bit of a problem with that. I haven't actually been able to get them done yet, and all I can do is apologize for that fact. But, well, I may still do those, because it's informational, it's useful. I think probably a dividing wall along here. But what we may be looking at there is more informational pieces, and I'm looking at maybe less mission guides, because they've kind of run past their time. They're not so relevant anymore. Yep, you hear that? That's spawning for you. Like a deck building guide, because that's probably one of the most challenging aspects of the game, and it's something that I've gotten fairly good at, but I still feel like there's stuff I can learn about it. Okay, over here I want light as well. And I can, even if I'm not the absolute grandmaster, expert, lord of all I survey, I can at least help people with that. You know, give them things to think about and cover the basics. And so I'd like to do an introduction piece to that, just to introduce it, and then focus on, you know, building for tanking, building for healing, and then I wouldn't do DPS exactly, but I would do one for Nightmare DPS specifically, because Nightmare to DPS is a bit different to other things. I've actually done it as a melee, and let's just say it's an experience that you don't want to have under your belt. It's less fun than it sounds. Well, no, it is fun, but it's very hectic. If you're not completely on the ball, you're a dead man, guaranteed. There's no two ways around it. You're dead if you don't move exactly when you need to move, get out of the effects, etc., etc. That's just how it is. So yeah, at the risk of not achieving anything and running around in circles here, we are gonna call this video for now. But hopefully you didn't miss me too much. Hopefully you did miss me. Hopefully you missed me. Yep. Apologies again for the huge gap. It was just... It was a rough spot. I couldn't really do much. So hopefully I'm forgiven. I'll try not to make a habit of getting really unwell and unable to function, but who can make that promise, really? Yep, that sinks those blocks. So I'm going to go back down and do a bit more here, but for now, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned. Tell your friends. I'd really like that one. Plummeting to their deaths. And yeah, I mean, really, I just like this channel to grow. I'd like it to be great. I'd like more conversation. Please, guys, just talk to me. Let's have a chat in the comments. I don't even care what it's about. Just chat. And, you know, hit some buttons, provided you agree with the associated sentiments. Or, you know, hit like if you didn't like it. I don't mind. If you want to be nice, go ahead. I won't complain. And yeah, I'll see you next time when I think we'll be coming up with a really strange design for an animal farm. One that is less political and more functional. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be overthrown by my livestock. I'd consider that an inconvenience. So, yeah. Take it easy, people.